Today, we are talking about the Swampfox Tomahawk II 1-6. Let's get into it. But first, you know I gotta get the bag. All my affiliate links with discount codes are in the description below. Now, I know you're all wondering what my affiliation with Swampfox is. It is nothing. I mean, I've talked to some of the media guys there, and the media guys are the ones that sent me the optic, but there was no payment. There was no discussion of a specific video. I straight up told them, if I make a video about this, I'm going to be extremely honest. I'm going to say everything I like and dislike and all that great stuff about it. They told me, great, we want nothing more than honesty. If you don't like it, that's fine. Now, the Swampfox guys in the email actually straight up said, we know we're a budget brand. We don't expect this to be blowing you away or anything like that. I'm a guy of, I'm not going to say I'm a high class man or a 5-star man. I'm not Dennis Reynolds, but I'm a 5-star man. I will say I like higher class optics. I say higher class. I put a Steiner on a $500 rifle, if that says anything. That being said, they have told me, at the time of recording this, this is not released, by the way, by the time I'm publishing this, this is still probably not released. They gave me specific permission to be able to post before the actual release date and the actual embargo lifting. So I am one of the few that actually got to do this, so that's pretty cool. They have told me the pricing is going to be sub 400. This is made in China. They're straight up, they're not trying to lie about anything, but they have stepped up their QC is what they told me. So they have put more of an I guess, aggressive approach on their QC to make these optics feel and act more high quality. When comparing this optic to one of its, I guess, closest competitors, which in my opinion would be a Burris RT6, which I actually have right here. It's also a second focal plane. It's also a 1-6. It has an illuminated reticle. They are very similar in that case, except one is Chinese glass and I believe the other is some other type of glass. But price points are around the same, so this is going to be sub 400. That, I believe, you can get with the mount, you can get for around 370, I believe. So they're a little close in terms of pricing, although this one does not come with the mount included. But the mount that they did send me, again, it is pretty high quality. I was very surprised by it. It actually has 45-degree RMR footprints on here, so you can actually mount an RMR directly to it, and usually a lot of people pay some good money for that, so that's actually pretty cool. Now let's talk about the illumination, because on a lot of these sort of cheaper scopes, the illumination is not that great. I mean, with the RT6, when it's on during the day right now, I can't even tell it's on. With this, however, I'll show some B-roll. I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that the dot is green. I don't know, maybe they just put a more powerful illuminator in there. I have no clue, but I'm very impressed with the illuminator on this. I would say it's even equal to, if not better than my Steiner illuminator. Although it is just a single, very small dot right in the center. It's not doing some crazy illumination and illuminating the entire reticle or anything like that. But I can still say the illumination, you will not be let down if you get this and you're pointing it at a white target in broad daylight. You're going to be just fine. This actually comes with a locking elevation turret. So you pull it up, you're able to do your adjustments, and you can push it back down. Now it's not going anywhere. And the windage turret is capped, so you can just unscrew the cap and then you have access to your windage adjustments. It also comes with a throw lever. This is actually a little bit different. So it's mounted via friction. So you just choose your actual point in which you want it to be, then you tighten it down, and if you tighten it down correctly, it's not moving anywhere. I mean, I can yank on this really hard in one direction and it's not going anywhere. So I was actually really surprised by that. It's a pretty good throw lever. I'm fairly impressed. So I have a little chart here that I was sent from Swampfox. This is the spec sheet. So I'm just going to read you actual numbers if that's what you're into. So the eye relief is 3.39 inches to 3.54. I have noticed that the I guess eye box, so where you can move around in the scope, is a little smaller than what I would like. Again, I'm comparing it to a Steiner T6XI, which I really, really love. Again, I mean, its main competitor for me right now is the RT6, and I would say it blows this thing out of the water, to be honest. But that's one thing that you, I guess, will be lacking if you're used to higher tier optics if you end up getting this scope. The click value is half MOA, the parallax setting is at 100 yards, the tube diameter is 30 millimeter, the objective lens diameter is 24 millimeter. So the max adjustment for both windage and elevation is 100 MOA each. They say the lens coating is fully multi-coated / anti-fog / hydrophobic, whatever that means. The illumination is 12 settings. Today I was running it on 10 in, again, broad daylight with a white target back there. The battery is a CR2032. They have not told me the actual battery life, so I can't say anything about that. Again, this isn't even on the market yet, so I'm actually still testing it. This is why this is just first impressions. The reticle comes in a BDC or a BFO. I don't know what those stand for. I'm just a dude that likes to shoot. I believe I got the BFO green reticle, which is just lines. The weight of the optic is 20.2 ounces, so not terribly heavy, not terribly light. The waterproof rating is IPX7, and the impact resistance is 1000 G-force. I'm never going to test that. I don't know how. So there you go. Now my thoughts and impressions on this optic itself. I have shot it out to about 600 yards, so what a lot of people say is the max for a 1:6. It performed great. I was also doing wind holds and adjusting and doing all the things that you would do. Works fantastic. There's nothing wrong with this. I have also used it, as you can see, on this range where it's more close. I'm using the 1X a lot more, and it's great. It's very clear, a lot more clear than, I mean, again, I use higher tier optics, so I didn't know what to expect, and I guess I was impressed. I'm impressed. It does also come with some scope caps. They're not the best out there. They're able to rotate and stuff, but I mean, but the RT6, actually, I don't think it comes with the scope caps, but at least this one does. I know that for a fact. Again, Swampfox, they sent me the optic. They said, do whatever you want with it. Say whatever you want about it. You don't even have to post a video, but here I am, I'm doing it, and I'm impressed. I can't stop saying enough. I think it's because it's $400, so I was expecting little and got quite a bit out of it. So here we are. Now for impact resistance, again, I don't know how to test 1000 Gs, but I mean, I'm not treating this rifle any different than I treat my other rifles. I'll throw it in the bed of the truck, I'll throw it on the ground, I'll drop it, whatever. I have not dropped it on the scope directly. That's probably a bad thing to do with any scope, just because you'll probably lose your zero or maybe even dent the actual tube itself. I don't know how that works. I've never done torture testing, but if you feel like torture testing it, by all means, I guess you could try it, but it seems like a very good build quality. Now, if you're out there looking for a more budget-friendly LPVO, maybe a 1:6 or a 1:4, which it will come in those configurations, I'm going to have to recommend this. Honestly, I mean, I don't know what the other competitors are, probably a Primary Arms or something like that. Again, I think the Burris RT6 is recommended quite a bit for the sub $400 range, and now I'm gonna have to say this is probably going to be on top, to be honest, at least for me. Now to wrap things up, do I prefer this optic to be my main LPVO? No. Like I said in the beginning, I definitely prefer my Steiner 1:6. The build quality is through the roof, the glass quality through the roof. I love me a first focal plane as well. The illumination is fantastic, but again, I just wanted to see what it was like. I mean, a $400 optic versus a $2,000+ optic, see what they were like. Thoroughly impressed. So again, if you're looking for a budget LPVO, maybe wait till this thing comes out. I think it's supposed to come around February of 2024. So keep an eye out, look out for it, look out for other reviews as well. Maybe guys that do torture testing, stuff like that. But from me, if you for some reason care about what my opinion is, I think it's a go. As always, I'll see you on the other side.